inside my J29, but it feels good to be able to breathe in here. I know a lot of people were like weirded out that I was staying on my J29 so much, but when you were paying close to $1,500 a month in rent in Austin and always feeling sickly, and the slip fee here with the electricity and water is about $470. And then I was going to Alabama to actually feel good, especially when right now this is a perfect time. You can see this is what was happening to me because some of the allergens in Austin are in this region, plus a white car is yellow, but also we've got chemical pollution, so the AQI counts. And how many Benadryl Pepcid combos do you want to do? Well, in Alabama, it's one every 36 hours. Here today, I'm probably going to have to take 2 or 3, total of 6 antihistamines on top of the other protocols that I'm doing, which is the real reason why I want to move my boat sooner rather than later. It's so much easier to control the moisture of a 29-foot racing boat, especially one that does not have a head, does not have water and power like what you expect from a Veneto. I still have to come in and check because I get a little water in the bilge and it evaporates out. See, I have an AC there and those are realtor side. And I have a dehumidifier here. And luckily, so the boat repairs are done. So looking forward to moving her, but this is annoying. This is really, truly annoying. Very much so, because I'm going, it would be worse in Austin, but this is actually better. I want to do the Mermaid Regatta. I want to do the women's series here and be the best possible skipper that I can be and the most lucid that I can be. But if you're basically having to take a Benadryl Pepcid combo, sometimes 2 of those before you race a regatta, that is unacceptable to me for this year. And I did really well. I think I ended up second in the Galveston Bay Series last year. However, and I'll learn a lot of good sailing tips and techniques and tricks by sailing my J29 with Kai, who's also a fractional J29, and pick up my skill that I'll be even better for that series. And I owe it to the people who crew with me. And every one time I crew on a J105 for the ladies series, or when I was skippering, I always had someone brand new to sailing. And I don't think the other team did that. It's fun. And we all learn. Because that's the real point, is you got to keep growing and learning. And who would have thought that I would have ended up being a sailor if you guys actually knew my history and everything else? I started off in gliders. But now I'm realizing between the grass field, the gliders, my vertigo may have been allergies a long time ago. And my vertigo from the Austin allergies may have been some of the reasons why I had such a hard time diving in there. I did feel better under, but it was hard to clear and go back up. And I had an easier time in Cozumel in the drift dives, but it was very hard to do the cenotes, up, down, up, down. And anybody who's done some cenote divings, that was a little too bad. Mast cell activation syndrome has a lot of ties with the spike protein. So whether you the COVID or many of the vaccines, either way, my exposure to the spike protein between my system that was already sort of immunocompromised with Lyme disease, it was worth it. And the best things that they said that would help delay or defer or change your ionization was taking a Benadryl and boosting, going out in the sunshine. So sailing as much as possible was the healthiest thing, and it still is the healthiest. Here in my J29 at Fairhope, saw my arms on Friday. I was able to wear a tank, and I didn't have on my. I'm just grateful for all the support that I've gotten here in Houston, in Austin, and also in Mobile Bay. And my boat's a learning boat. I'm learning as a skipper, confident. At the same time, I'm looking forward to teaching some of my friends who've never sailed in Mobile Bay opportunity, and also learning from some of the best sailors out there here. But it was so worth it to come to the wedding. I'm so glad and so happy, and congratulations to the Mr. and Mrs. who got married. As much as I'm complaining, a heck of a lot better than what it